Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who is most certainly not a troglodyte with a bad haircut. It's John Levingood.
Oh, that's good. I was worried I was going to be the balding troglodyte. Can you imagine if you were the lawman and you have long hair, but you have like receding hairline, but you're chasing the guy with the perfect hair?
That'd be annoying. Because like normally the cop has the fluffy hair, like the Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon.
That's feathered testosterone, that hair. Yeah, I swear.
That's 80s cop hair with something else.
Because it was feathered.
Oh,
him and Charlie's Angels had very similar hair.
Yeah, they did. It should have been him and Swayze running next to each other. They would have taken off flying with their hair. So many feathers. Yep. Imagine if Mel Gibson was running in Lethal Weapon and he just starts flying because his hair takes off.
He's a small, lightweight guy, despite all the muscles. Like, I could see him taking flight.
It's like a glider, and he jumps off a mountain.
Yeah, like you give him a leather jacket, and he turns into like a sugar glider.
Who is that? That's just Riggs. He's crazy. He looks like a sugar glider.
Oh, for this shit.
Wait, Murtaugh's the old one, right? And then Riggs is Gibson.
Murtaugh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because I can hear Danny Glover saying, Riggs!
Knock out that sugar glider business. Oh man.
That's right.
Who would be okay, I'm gonna give you 5 actors with huge hair, and they're gonna sugar glide down a canyon. Okay. Charlie Sheen from Hot Shots Part 2.
Okay.
Stallone when he had his longest hair in one of the Rambos. So probably Rambo 2.
2 or 3, yeah.
Okay. Swayze in Point Break, and then Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon. And then let's toss in Emilio Estevez from Loaded Weapon.
So I feel like Emilio Estevez and Sheen, it's not going to be pretty, but it'll work. Mel Gibson, he's going to look the most like David Attenborough should be narrating his sugar glider biology, right? I feel like Patrick Swayze, it's going to be more anime, where it's almost like a flash and he just cuts through the universe, like in a straight line, right?
Wow.
Like when they swing a sword in anime, like in a Vampire Hunter D kind of thing.
Yep, I see that.
I'm missing one. Oh, Stallone though, he's going to be like that bulldog where someone says like, all dogs can swim, and he just sinks.
Yeah, Stallone's not flying.
I know that he wasn't like huge back then. Like he was ripped, but he was probably under 200 pounds because he's not very tall. It's not like he was, like his 2006 Rocky Balboa big, because he got big in that Rambo, just called Rambo in the 2000s, yeah. And Rocky Balboa. Like he got like 220 plus. I don't know, 5'9". Like he got big.
Yeah,
so he just sinks. He just sinks like a Frenchie or an English bulldog. It doesn't go anywhere.
So we're saying that Riggs wins because like Bodhi just tears a hole through the time-space continuum and disappears into it. And then that just leaves Gibson soaring while David Attenborough narrates it.
Whereas Neil deGrasse Tyson would have to narrate the Swayze glide.
Yeah, Chris Nolan would make a movie out of
it. His cut through the time radiance.
He appears one day and it's just like the apes have taken over and he's like, what?
Right. Something like, right. He's like, oh, I've gone too far. I got to go back.
So how'd you tear a hole through the time-space continuum? My hair in a leather jacket. Oh.
Just a little selenium sulfide and mixed my hair products.
Oh, that's amazing. We need this.
If you had a single flake in his hair, it wouldn't work. So there's some selenium sulfide involved.
Yeah, you know what's really interesting, when you have planes, you really need to pull down on drag. Like, I mean, like NASCAR, F1, everything has been tested for optimal, wind resistance and drag. One little thing could just really tear you up. So yeah, one piece of this dandruff lingering in that gorgeous hair, and he would probably take out LA with the speed from that dandruff that he creates. You know Man of Steel? That's what he would look like going through one of the buildings. All right, so I just want to get this out of the way. Dark Angel. John, I didn't watch this movie for many years, and it wasn't until several years ago when I watched this because, I don't know, for me, it just seems like all Dolph Lundgren movies, I watched some really bad ones. There's some very bad Dolph Lundgren films. So I was like, oh, he battles an alien in this. I don't know what this is about. And I finally watched it. It was on sale from Shout Factory, Scream Factory. It's delightful. And Craig Baxley from Action Jackson, Stone Cold, and Dark Angel is just a glorious stuntman turned director. This movie's hilarious, John. It's like there's like, who's this guy? Some asshole from outer space. So if you've never heard about this movie, it's Dolph Lundgren. He plays a cop called Detective Jack Kane. And he's the kind of cop who disappears for 8 days, not 7, 8. And that's a big problem for a lot of people. Eventually, I can take 7, but not 8. And then a intergalactic alien, a bad alien named Talek, played by a decathlon runner named Matthias Hughes, shows up. And you think he wants to conquer the world. You think he just wants to take over. No, he just wants to take people's endorphins who have been using heroin so he can go back to his planet and sell it for priceless amounts of money. It's nature's ecstasy. So he wants to take that, go. But if he does that, Barky, what they call it, a priceless drug of endorphins, if he does that, thousands of more drug dealers are going to come to Earth and start harvesting humans for their endorphins. And it's up to Dolph and Benben Brian Benben to stop them, and Betsy Brantley. A lot of alliteration going on there. And it's hilarious, John. This is a funny movie. And then there's a gang called the White Boys.
Would not play out well today.
Yeah. Like, I think they're making fun of those guys. Like it's I think it's a bunch of just Wall Street drug dealers, which is, what's kind of funny, as opposed to like just picking out a random, group of, Latinos or Asian or North Korean or skinheads or motorcycle bikers. The main drug dealing gang in this one is yuppie. Well, I mean, it was 90, so there's a lot of yuppies, but it was a yuppie gang.
I do feel, and I mean this the kindest way, that the dynamic between the non-alien antagonists and our good guy was very much designed around Die Hard. The movie poster, well, I should say one of the movie posters is, if you put it side by side with a Die Hard poster with the exploding helicopter and the skyscraper and the big Bruce Willis face in the front left foreground, it's like
it's a Christmas movie.
And it's a Christmas movie. But like this movie starts out with a businessman who crashes his car into a Christmas tree lot. They're playing Christmas music in the opening and closing credits. The criminals are sporting welding torches and spelunking elevator shafts and air vents, just like Bruce Willis and Hans Gruber's guys. They have a giant blonde Carl Vresky, or in this case, the alien Talek, which, until I started watching this movie from the movie poster, I almost wondered if it was going to be the same actor. Instead of barabons, it's stacks of cocaine. Like, there's a lot. Oh, and Al Leong.
Yes. Yep.
That would be the bad guy in Die Hard, where before SWAT came in, he was surreptitiously reaching in for a Crunch bar to have a snack before all the shooting went down. Also, Big Trouble in Little China. That guy, there's like memes that say, when you see this guy, shit's about to go down. But like, it's very, and these white boys are very slick. Now, I don't think they're truly modeled after Gruber's men, but again, too much stuff feels close enough. I feel like this director loved Die Hard.
Well, he worked on Die Hard. He was the second unit director.
Okay, well, all right. Now it's a little less innocent.
And his first movie was with Joel Silver before Die Hard was Action Jackson in '88.
And he directed Action Jackson.
Yeah, he directed Action. So he directed Dukes of Hazzard. I mean, this is a guy who he did second unit stunts for the Warriors. This Craig Baxley, like, it's a dynasty of stunt family. Like, it's a stunt family that, if there was a Hall of Fame of stunts, they would be on it, the Baxleys. And you know what's crazy, John? This movie, I think there was a miscommunication. He's like, oh, so you're going to give me $25 million to make this? They're like, no. The studio goes, we're going to give you $5 to $7 million and we want you to make it look like a $25 million movie. So they shipped him off to Houston. And you know what's funny? They were on time and under budget and they just kept making their days because there was nothing but stunt people working on this. And Dolph was so easy to train. They didn't have to waste any time training him. And the guy that they hired, that Matthias Hughes, was a decathlon runner in like the Olympics. So he did all of his stunts in one take. So they moved so fast, he would just add things. He's like, well, I mean, we're ahead of time. So he just kept adding stunts and blowing up cars, and his family drives cars and blows them up on Dukes of Hazzard for years. So I just love that this was a $5 to $7 million movie, and then they made it so economically that they got to add more into it. And it looks great. This movie looks great. This is, John,
absolutely.
This is a pleasant surprise on every single level. It is funny. Dolph Lundgren gives a top 3 performance of his career. I would put this up with Universal Soldier. I think I would put this up with Rocky IV. He's good in Rocky Balboa, but this is his lightest and funniest. Him and Brian Benben are hilarious together. You know, the way that Dolph's like, go get that space gun. Like, he understands the thing. Betsy Brantley's hilarious. There's like a really deep bench of funny supporting characters. There's a guy, Bruce, who just chugs coffee and lays on that table on his back. And just everything about this, the action, you know, like, I come in peace. Yeah, but you go in pieces, asshole. Like, it's such a... And then also the transitions in this movie. I don't know if you noticed them, John, but like, they stab that person's head, and then it goes to the cue ball. And it's a great transition. Right. And then, so when the aliens kill people, they take out this needle and they stab them right in the head to take their endorphins. And there's another one where he stabs. So there's a woman mechanic in this. And then, a lady's working on the cars, and then she gets attacked, and then he rips her shirt, and she has like just a lace bra, and it's just absolutely absurd. Like, even Megan laughed at it, like how insane it was. And then he stabs her in the head and starts draining it, and then you go to coffee being drained from beakers. Like, it's a really well put together, planned out, scrappy, funny movie. It's such, and David Koepp, he wrote it under a pseudonym, but the guy who wrote Jurassic Park added punch-ups on this. And it's just, John, 90 minutes of just delight.
Gotta agree on every front. I was jotting down notes about this, and even though it's funny and aspects is the right word of this are very silly, I would say that the acting, the writing, the direction, the production, the action, like everything is highly satisfying. The fact that silly things are going on, some people want to call a movie like, some people almost use the term bad writing with reckless abandon because something silly or over the top is happening. But realistically, this movie knows exactly what it's doing. It treats the scenes very seriously. It's never played for farce. If anything, they play tactical humor with it. And I'm with you too. The action was really for 1990. I'm going to give it that caveat, right? Because the big bad guy pretty much, you know, he's more likely to throw you than just grab your neck and snap it, which would make sense. But that's what big bad guy, well, even now today in movies
95% of them do that, I feel like.
Right? As stupid as that is, but that's not bad writing. That's not ending the movie. So, you know, something else that I love about this, though, is that this is a who's who of sci-fi action that ever was before it and ever will be. The thing he shoots from his wrist bracer to suck out dopamine from someone's OD'd brain. It's like, that is a mix between Predator, which happened, and Starship Troopers brain bug that didn't even happen yet. The way that they portal into Earth, or, you know, crash land into Earth, it disintegrates whatever it touches in a perfect manner, like in the Terminator movies when they portal in, right? Even the weapon, that little spinning buzzsaw, it's like Predator 2, which actually came out after this by a few months, as it turns out. But when they're talking about like this alloy, we don't even know what this weapon is. I couldn't make a cut like this if I tried with a scalpel. We've got bad aliens being hunted by good aliens. That's the Hidden and Critters, right? Like, there's so many, or even in a way with time travel, Terminator, that this has and that device made me think of the Batarang, where it was hitting all the different people from Batman Begins when he programs it. and Krull's frisbee of death. Like this touches on so many things in precious ways, and it doesn't feel like it's ripping anything off, though. It just feels like it's sampling, and I love it. It makes me think of all these movies that I love, and I smile every time I realize one of these similarities. It's not like when I'm watching a movie and I'm like, they literally made that ship look just like a Starship Destroyer in Star Wars. And I might still love the movie, but it's like they just ripped that off. No, none of that. It's love across the board, right?
It's like in John Wick 4 when they do the Warriors. Like, it's a straight up mention to the Warriors. In John Wick 3 or 2, when they have the villainous motorcycle homage scene. And you're not angry, you're just like, yes, the Warriors. You're like, yes, villainous, because it's a good movie. And you could tell that they love those movies and they're paying homage to them. So I think when you borrow, I think when you copy, but it's done well, it's really fun. Like that movie Alligator, it was really made to capitalize on the big animal trend at the time, but it's hilarious. So every single,
wonderful.
It's hilarious. That, I'm telling you, the Alligator and Dark Angel are two of my most happy first time watches of like the recent, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years. And I adore them. And, there's nothing really original. There's no original bone in their body. But I mean, this movie is about Dolph Lundgren. This guy's name is Talek, an extraterrestrial drug dealer. Like, and there's just lines like, I'm a team player. Yeah, well, your team sucks. But it's like, if this movie was a screwball comedy, so I just watched His Girl Friday, people would be like, oh, the writing is so zippy and it's so good and it's so fun. But since it's an action movie, I think you're right. People are like, oh, the dialogue sucks because it's like weird. But like, no, this is a zippy, funny, well-acted, well-directed movie. And it just feels alive. And like Brian Benben's, I think he's hilarious in it. Like I like Arwood, like Special Agent Arwood, Larry Smith. Like I think he's great. Like he has to make a call and he goes up to this payphone. There's a woman on it. He hangs up and then he's like, oh, hey, you got change for $1? Like he's just,
right.
He's very funny. And I know I'm just saying that this movie's very funny. It's this, that, and the other, but it's just inspired. John, imagine you're a studio executive and you're like, okay, we need to make action movies. We need something big. This Die Hard picture's coming out. We got to match it. Like, we got to do something. Like, well, how about, let's see, a road cop battles an extraterrestrial drug dealer who's stealing endorphins to bring him back to his planet. And you're like, yeah, let's do it. I mean, what's crazy? This movie has a CD player that's a CD flying around that's really hokey. Dolph Lundgren earned my undying respect. There's a moment at the end when he's fighting the intergalactic drug dealer, or the extraterrestrial drug dealer, and he shoots an arrow out of his little wrist gauntlet. Dolph is on his back, and Dolph is just Roger Cormaning holding this little arrow, and he's like, like, because it's trying to hit him in the face, but nothing's working on the arrow. It's just Dolph holding an arrow with two hands and like dodging and dipping and be like, like on his back.
It's like every scene where a little monster or a little rubber demon is attacking someone and they're just holding the rubber monster.
Yeah.
Puppeting the action.
But it's funny. What's interesting? You don't look at it as cheap because you know what the tone of this movie is. So when he's doing that, you're not like, because this movie sucks. You're like, no, this is good. Like, this is funny. I think this movie has, most importantly, this movie has a personality. It's like a living, breathing personality to this film. And that's why it's so endearing. And I think that's why it's better than most of the $5 to $7 million action films from 85 to, 96. Like, I think it's one of the better one of those specific types. Now, don't say I'm not comparing it to Hard Boiled. I'm not comparing it to Speed, to T2, to Die Hard. I'm comparing it to like a very specific type of low budget action film. And I think it's top notch. And like, have you seen Baxley's, have you seen Stone Cold with?
Oh, so you've asked me this before. I truly don't know. I might have seen this, when I was 13 years old and just long forgotten it. To be fair, I've seen this, I Come in Peace, aka Dark Angel. Like, I've seen this, I know I have, in even a straight sitting, but I remembered like truly nothing substantial about it. I just remembered it was Dolph versus a big alien. I didn't remember if I liked it. And truth be told, 13-year-old John, even though he had seen Predator and the Terminator and the Critters, like, I wouldn't have appreciated these comparisons I'm making because at the time I hadn't seen all these movies many, many, many times. I didn't have like this Rolodex lexicon of knowledge of movies in my head. I was just watching movies and giggling at them, drinking a Coke. So yeah, I don't even think it would have had the same impact then as it does now, even though then the effects would have been more impressive than now. Although again, in appreciation, boy, yeah, it did so much so effectively. Like, this movie's so fun. And again, it's like they didn't just give you Dolph versus the big guy like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator versus the even bigger alien, which is fun in itself. No, then they gave you another alien who's hunting the bad alien. And then, oh, wait, the drug dealers who the alien stole the drugs from are looking for Dolph because they think he busted the deal. So it's like you have, in a way, Dolph thought that he had 3 antagonists, but one of the antagonists was the enemy of his enemy and was his friend. But still, he had 2 antagonists. Like, there's a lot going on. These antagonists, by the way, are bleeding like white cottage cheese. I don't know if they're going for an alien android or I love it. This goopy, clumpy cottage cheese blood. Like, God, this movie is so fun.
Right? There's a scene where they go to a strip club, and they go to a strip club, in the words of Benben, to pump a guy named Boner. Because there's a guy, a criminal informant, CI, his name's Boner. And Dolph goes to a strip club, he's like, we just went to a strip club to pump Boner. Like, the entire set piece is built around a stupid joke. But you know what? It never feels crass, right? It never feels like, it's just silly. Like, the whole movie is so knowingly silly that you can have a joke about them going to a strip club to pump a guy named Boner, and it doesn't feel like, I watched this with Megan for the first time, and we're my wife Megan, you guys all know her if you listen to the pod, but like, we love this movie, and she loves this movie because it's just silly, and it has all the touchstones of these films. There's nudity, there's sex, there's gratuity, there's violence, there's like stupid jokes, but it's also silly. I don't know, it's just an odd movie that really works.
Give it something very tasteful about the nudity. The nudity is only in the strip club, and in the strip club, no one is disrespecting the strippers, and the strippers are depicted as having a good time.
Yeah.
So the nudity is not in sex scenes. It's only when a woman is being not disrespected, I should say. I don't know if respected is the right word in the strip club. But again, like, there are no assholes, like, behaving weirdly at them. They're smiling. They're having a good time. They see Dolph. They smile at Dolph. It's like, it's about as positive, and it's clearly gratuitous, but it doesn't have most of the gratuitous hallmarks.
Yeah.
It's gratuitous, but it's not exploitative.
And I think that's right. And you know what? They're built around jokes. He's like, Dolph's like, I do my best thinking here. And then Ben's like, all the blood's leaving my brain. So it's just
exactly.
Yeah, and it's, but like, they built that scene for a laugh. And so it's not just like a Die Hard or a Commando. And listen, I don't want to say anything of this gratuity. We're not saying any of this is great or it's aged well or it's appropriate. But when you grew up in the era we did, it was just so gratuitous. Everything was so gratuitous. It's changed a lot. So I think you're right. This movie is a lot more tasteful in regards to its gratuity. But you're like, it's never exploitative like some of those films are.
Like, everything down to 48 Hours or Beverly Hills Cop, both Eddie Murphy, as it turns out, or any other
strip clubs. Like
any other cop who's breaking rules kind of thing. They always end up in a strip club, whether they wanted to go there or to find someone.
I'm telling you, this is just, and like, also too, Betsy Brantley as Diane in this movie, The Corner. You're right. She's given a lot more to do. Like, she's funny. She's a little morose. She's like, I love mental abuse as much as the next woman, but I'm done with this. Like, it's very, I'm telling you, it's very like screwball comedy from the 30s, 40s kind of dialogue. Like, she does her own, like, she helps out Benben at the end when he's knocked on the car. It's it's a really refreshing performance. And, you know, that's credit to Baxley. Like, he said she didn't have much to do in the script, but then he met her and found out how great she was. So he just worked with her to make the character better. And, you know, Dolph still loves this movie. When Dolph Lundgren talks about this, he was like, I got a lot more to do than normal. Like, he's like, I got to have a love interest. I got to be funny. I got to tell jokes. He's like, there's some drama, there's some romance, there's some action. He's like, and there's some clever dialogue. I get to act. So Dolph Lundgren said, I actually have some clever dialogue in this one. I get to act. And he does.
I've got a Dolph Lundgren kind of trivia question for you, and I don't know the answer. But in this, he has he's a cop, you know, and it's kind of a joke, especially in, you know, this era of cop movies, like, on your salary, he has this super nice apartment, condo, whatever, right? He's drinking wine, which just makes him seem more classy than having, I don't know, the glass of Jameson or a beer. He has a pool table in the middle of a room. He has this nice white couch. Did he not have a similar kind of setup in The Punisher and Showdown in Little Tokyo? Now, Showdown in Little Tokyo was more like with the Japanese culture thing, but was it not like a cop with these really nice, classy, and flexive places in all three movies? Am I remembering this correctly?
So I don't remember The Punisher, but yeah, and Showdown in Little Tokyo, that was a trope. If you think about Action Jackson with Carl Weathers, he's a Harvard-educated lawyer who works as a cop. In Stone Cold, Brian Bosworth has a gigantic house and a monitor lizard as a pet instead of a dog. That's well beyond a cop's salary. So I think Showdown in Little Tokyo was right around that time as well. So I think there was this odd trope right? Of like rich cops who were just somehow really wealthy. And there's
it's
no
not
reason
just having
for
the
that.
Money. It's what he does with
the
it,
wine
right?
and it's classy.
It's not coke and hookers.
Yeah.
It's a nice white couch. It's very clean. It's the, you know, just like that. And then I was going to say in Dolph Lundgren's case, in Showdown in Little Tokyo, even though he has all of his, you know, like Japanese martial arts cultural things up, it's very manicured. It's almost curated the way it's presented. It's pristine. And I want to say Punisher was that way, even though he was all rough. I feel like Punisher was the same, but I might be merging a memory with this movie. Because when I was watching this, I seriously thought, this is just like his condo in The Punisher. And I'm like, wait, is it? Or did I make that up?
I just remember him in the sewers in that one. But hey, how about we do that next, John? Should we do The Punisher next?
Dude, I'm in.
All right, cool. Because I bought that movie and I haven't talked about it yet, so now we can do that.
I am in.
Awesome. So
you have covered Punisher Warzone, though, right?
No, we haven't done that episode yet.
You haven't done that with Ray Winstone?
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we got it.
Wait, was Ray Winstone? Am I getting his name correctly?
Ray Stevenson.
Stevenson. I'm sorry. Ray Winstone, totally different looking actor. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean he's a Hulk in that one, and I mean even the Thomas Jane one's a lot of fun. I love that one, but it's
well, we should do a Punisher series.
I'm in. Want to do that in between our Kurt Russell
series?
There it is. I own all of them. I was gonna do the series like a while ago. I never did it, so I bought them.
I feel like in multiple episodes we have talked about the synastry of John Travolta and the Kevin Nash fight.
Yeah.
And I also think that we've talked multiple times about the parkour guy flipping in the air, getting rocket launcher killed by Ray Stevenson.
Oh, that's so perfect. Yeah, I remember watching Punisher Warzone for the first time and just going like, this is next level. This is heavy. Like just
so a little confession. This is like the episode trailer before we get around to it, whenever we get around to it. I have only ever seen Punisher Warzone hammered. So it's almost like fever dream memories of it and like gifs in my head. So whenever we do it, it's going to be like coming in fresh, just like this movie.
It's still going to feel like a fever dream, even if you're stone cold sober. That movie's crazy. But, you know, I guess for me, you know, this movie Dark Angel, it doesn't have a lot of twists and turns. There's no heavy themes, but I also think that's what makes it so likable. It's just about it has its tongue so firmly in its cheek, but it never feels cute. I think, You know when some movies are overly cute or precious with their dialogue and it just crushes your soul? This one all throughout, it just kind of pops. And so it's just, in the first sentence of this, the guy's like, you were gone for 7 days. Just, not sentence, but yeah, you were gone for 8.
7 days I can understand, but 8 fucking days. What? And by the way, I wrote down a note. Why is it that he could understand 7 days? But 8 fucking days? Like, then he freaks out about that one more day. And then even his ex-girlfriend, or I guess really girlfriend, not really ex, she just disappeared on her. She's pulling the same thing. And she disappeared for 8 days. What was he doing in those 8 days? I have another question about time, Mark. So in this movie, his boss in the beginning, like looking at the mess of the drug sting gone wrong, says, you've got some vacation coming up. Yeah, you're going to take those 8 weeks of vacation. And I'm sitting there like, did he accumulate these 8 weeks of vacation as a Houston cop in 1990 over the course of 4 or 8 years? Like, I feel like 10 days, like 2 weeks, would be the cap on what I would expect a 90s cop to get for vacation, maybe even current.
Now, in the real world, you're right, but I'm looking at this from Last Action Hero type of style, where cops in this world haven't had a day off in 6 years.
Right, so has he accumulated it for
year to
4
year
or
to
5
year.
years?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
So I guess if you're saying 2 weeks each year, and it's Christmas, so for 4 years he hasn't taken a day off.
And I believe it. Don't get me wrong. Normally they don't have the benefits rolling over so well, but that's a nice perk. But so 8 weeks, and he's like, you're going to take that 8 weeks right now. And then later in the movie, he's talking to Diane. He's like, I got 8 weeks vacation. Hey, you should go home and pack your bags. We need to take a vacation together. Where will we go? Wherever you want. Where haven't you been? Just go home and pack a bag. She leaves to go pack a bag for where she doesn't know where. I want to be clear. And he's like, and then meet me back at my place. And I'm just sitting here like that was the one moment of all moments in the entire movie, despite the aliens and the drug dealers and all the weird shenanigans, the explosive bullets. Like, the aliens had exploding bullets, by the way, and they couldn't hit anything.
Nothing.
Ever. Seemed.
I mean, gravity is different.
But that, sure, I guess.
Hey, John, he speaks English.
Well, with their technology, though,
it's just...
I'll bet it's one of those things, because we're probably just like 5 years or 10 years away from talking into our phone and having it talk out Swedish.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll bet it's one of those. Or like in Galaxy Quest, like, you just have a little translator in your ear. That's how I view that.
I just thought it was hilarious that they touched on it. Like, great, this alien speaks. But, oh, sorry. I interrupted you there with my thing.
I don't know where I was. It was like I was going on about vacation or something.
Yeah. She's like, oh, I can go with you.
She was going to go home and pack for a trip, and she didn't know if they were going somewhere tropical or to Europe, right? But she said, okay, I'm going to go pack, basically, and she leaves, right? And so that was the one time with all the aliens and all the craziness of this plot. That was the one time where I was alienated. Like, I was, my disbelief, I couldn't suspend for that part. I'm like, wait a minute. You could have given me half a line of dialogue to make that work. I've never been to Fiji. It's great. Fiji. That's all that had to happen.
Yeah. I'll take you home to Sweden.
She doesn't know if she's packing bathing suits or not.
But I mean, she
showed up. But she showed up to his house with a suitcase packed for somewhere. Mark, I want to know if there is a director's commentary, if they talk about where she packed to go.
I think so. They did do that. There's a 25-minute documentary that's really good. But I think Betsy, she's smart. She's a coroner. Like, she cuts bodies open. I don't think too much shakes her. She has a guy who doesn't talk to her for 8 days. She likes him. She seems like a real career person. She is the coroner of Houston.
Crap out of him.
Yeah, exactly. And Benben. And she seems to be, I guarantee you, she'll roll wherever they go. But what's in her bag is, okay, so it's Christmas time. Where have you never been? So she got to pick it. So what do you think, Betsy, where do you think she goes to relax?
I suppose it makes less sense to go to Europe because it's going to be even colder because they're at higher latitudes than us. So maybe it would be somewhere tropical, but he doesn't know that. If he had a bag packed, maybe it's just filled with jeans and leather jackets or whatever.
That's all he owns, and was jackets from when he was 12.
You know what he can do though? He can pull a red scorpion and just rip the legs off of, and make short jorts. And just go to the beach in that. And with his thighs, it'll look great. Speaking of his thighs, not that we see his thighs in this movie, this is perhaps the smallest muscled Dolph Lundgren I've ever seen, because we see his arms a lot. And it really struck me, like, I wonder if in the movies right before this, he was just thinking, yeah, I'm focusing more on acting. I don't need these kinds of roles anymore. I mean, he still, don't get me wrong, he didn't look like he gave up his gym membership, but he was not inflated. He was not sweaty, thick, round muscled Dolph. He was long muscled Dolph. He was more like Alexander Skarsgård in The Northman as opposed to Ivan Drago.
He had a kind of a skinny run there because he's not that big in Universal Soldier either. He's quite lean in that.
I would say he's bigger than this though. I would.
I mean, I bet you he just liked it. I think he enjoyed not having to be shirtless. I mean, he still keeps in shape. I mean, that roundhouse kick that he delivers, he actually knocked that guy out in the liquor store. The guy missed his mark.
In the cut?
Yeah. And in the liquor store, he like kicked that guy's head off. Really. But yeah, I guarantee you he just didn't want to work out. He probably was like, okay, I get to do Zippy's dialogue and have fun and be dramatic and not have my shirt off.
It's almost like when you look at Chris Hemsworth as Thor, not quite as extreme, right? But then he just lived on a treadmill and didn't lift weights for like 6 months before he did Rush because he had to lose like 40 pounds. And yeah, he still had a glorious body, but he didn't have like a protruding chest. He didn't have round biceps, you know, like he looked like that. And I noticed that. I was like, huh, this struck me as like, cause my image of even him in the Expendables in his huge. 60s, or well, maybe 60 in the first Expendables, his muscles looked bigger than they are in this. And everything before and after this, it just struck me as interesting. Just noticed it. Whatever.
What was he in? Like, cause he was huge in Showdown in Little Tokyo. You know, I think, I'm just going to say it, John. I think this might be, he's good in, he doesn't say anything in Rocky IV. Physically, he's up to task, right? I think his two best performances ever are in Dark Angel and Universal Soldier. I feel like that's right. Because Showdown in Little Tokyo, he's just, I have never met a man with a bigger penis. Remember when Brandon Lee says that? Like, that's an actual line from that movie. But like Men of War, I mean, Johnny Mnemonic, he goes for it. I wouldn't mind talking to you about that one day because I bought the black and white cut.
You loved Command Performance, didn't you?
Yeah, but
I was seeing that.
He's a director. You know, he's just a drummer and he's stoned the whole time, so he's very monotone. Like, he's just like, I'm gonna smoke this weed. But like, you know, in Hidden Assassin, Silent Trigger, Peacekeeper, Blackjack, Minion, Sweepers, Stormcatcher, Bridge of Dragons, Jill Rips, The Last Patrol, Hidden Agenda, Detention, Direct Action, you know, Retrograde, The Defender, which I've watched all these, The Russian Specialist, Direct Contact. I really do, man. I think it.
Okay, you know, I'm inclined to agree with you, but for the scenes where he wasn't as programmed in the end, where he was playing like shell shocked and recalling his Nam days,
the grocery store scene.
The third act of Universal Soldier, he was on.
Yeah. No, I think.
It wasn't a lot of dialogue, though. It wasn't a lot. I realize it's not a lot.
His grocery store scene in Universal Soldier, I'm like, you should have been nominated for best supporting actor. Why not? Watch the grocery store scene where he monologues again. It's really good. So I'm saying those are his two best performances. I'm not talking physically. I'm talking performance wise.
Yeah. I don't think I disagree at all.
And like he loves this movie, John. I've been reading some interviews with him lately. So I looked up Dolph Lundgren, Come in Peace, Dolph Lundgren, Dark Angel, and whenever I find an interview with him, he's like, "Oh man, I love that movie. Baxley was a great director. Ben was great. The action was great. He's so happy that he got to say this dialogue. Like, I don't think he ever, in Ambushed or The Package or In the Name of the King, Two Worlds, where he wears a little scarf. There's no dialogue for him to do, so he's just kind of going through the motions. But you could tell he loved being zippy in this one. And the weird, like that guy who drinks coffee and like sits on his back, and then he gets beat up.
Yeah,
like,
that hyperactive, drug-addled, like, I don't know if he was a professor or just some researcher at that university, but that was a cool role. That was a cool side character.
Right? Yeah, this movie's and like even the white boys, they're murderers. They're mass murderers. Like that one guy sends him a picture. He's on a yacht with like two women, and he sent him a photo because he killed his partner. Like that guy's trolling him so bad.
It's funny too that white boy who I'm going to call him the main white boy. You know why I thought of Ray Winstone, by the way? Ray Winstone has a smile like the white boy's boss Warren that we meet. But also Ray Winstone has a smile that's a little bit like the white boy we see in the beginning in the heist scene who leaves the bomb. Again, I'm not saying that they look like they're related. I'm saying that their expressions, if you take a young Ray Winstone, he had some facial expressions like that kind of maniacal, like Joker, proto-Joker smile.
Yeah, no, he really does. And they're well cast, aren't they? Even the secondary antagonists in this film of the white boys, they're memorable. Like all those guys are definitely memorable. And you know what's a bummer? And I'm not going to get into this, but this movie has like a 38% Rotten Tomatoes score. And I almost wonder if people went into it just thinking, oh, this is like another stupid movie. Like, I don't know how you watch, like, if you go in this with that open heart, and like, even if you put it in context of being a 1990 R-rated $5 to $7 million film, I don't know how you go, this is bad. Or is that just me being a Dolph fan?
No, I think unfortunately that while a lot of like major movie fans are on Rotten Tomatoes, I think that the majority of those votes up or down are coming from people who are under 35 and who weren't familiar with this movie in their youth. And I think they are watching it out of context. Because I think the problem that we have as major movie fans today is that when we grow up in the era of a movie, there's no catching up for us to be aware of it. Whereas when someone is 30 and I'm 43 and they're like, oh, I'm so into sci-fi. I live and breathe sci-fi movies. All I do is watch sci-fi movies. Then I can say something like, oh, have you seen Mario Bava's, Invasion of the Space Vampires from 1965? That's where a lot of the imagery from Alien came from. They'd be like, no way, nothing copied Alien. I'm like, yeah, a lot of stuff predated it. You know what I mean? But I even thought that until I saw this not that long ago, to be honest. But like, the thing is that every year that passes makes it disproportionately harder for a reviewer of age X today to be as up to date with their movie experience as someone older than them. And so I think that they just have fewer movies from the 80s and 90s in their mental repertoire. They're front loaded to present day, which makes sense. It makes sense. So just like most of the movies we watch now are more current, because we only have so much time to watch movies. I pragmatically understand in a way that disappoints me, but it's like, I don't think that you're going to get good reviews, even from the most astute film student who's 25 years old today, watching Nosferatu, watching Werewolf in London. By the way, folks, I don't mean a movie that came out even in 1981. I mean something that came out 60 years, actually,
yeah,
70.
That was 30,
that. It was like 1916, 30, right? I think.
Oh, 1916.
No, Werewolf in London was like 1916. That predated the 30s era of like of Frankenstein and Dracula.
I
think that was 1916. But again, it's so hard to keep up with what's current, because that's what we're living in, and all the stuff before it. Each decade before it comes with more and more and more baggage. And how many times are you watching those movies? And then, if we've seen the older movies more times, we are more likely to catch the things that were borrowed in later movies or that it borrowed from early movies. And if you don't see the movies in the right order, thus multiple times, you won't realize these chains of evolution, of jumps in the quality of, say, a werewolf transformation scene, or what certain scenes look like in terms of action quality. You've seen Die Hard, so you think you know what a 1987 action movie should look like. But that's a big budget one. It's not fair to compare that to even a 1990 movie that had a fraction of the budget. But if you haven't seen enough movies of the era, when you just watch the trailer, the film quality looks the same. You want to tell yourself it looks like the same budget era quality. It's so
put it in context.
It's funny, man. These are like humbling things that I realize with every decade of my discoveries of movies, and like it's disheartening to realize how incredibly hard it is to be anything but disconnected when you are young and trying to speak to film as a whole, right? So it seems almost unfair to them to be critical of them because of that, because they're doing their best.
Well, and you said, with come to age, you learn more about it. You look at the big picture. You remember when we were in our 20s? I think we were still learning, and like the more you see, the less you know. So like we were just beginning our journey. I mean, you and I watched an absurd amount of films growing up, but I think we watched them as like more so than probably most people. But I think we just watched them to enjoy them. We'd watch Indian in the Cupboard and some R-rated movie the same day and be like, yeah, those are cool. So I think, but when I started getting into film, I think you kind of have this thing where you're like, oh yeah, it's not a Kurosawa or it's not a Nolan, because those are like the few references you have. So I think once you start learning more about it, like once you said you watched that Bava film, once you watch Cabinet of Dr. Caligari and realize how that production design influenced Burton, and so once you start looking back, and then, you complain about sequels, you complain about remakes, but I mean, look at the horror films of the 1930s. There's sequels and remakes. So I think once you learn about it being a business, once you learn about the context, and then once you learn about the different scales, I mean, there are some movies like Undisputed 3, which have rotten scores, but they're incredible direct-to-streaming action films.
It's the best Undisputed.
Yeah, but people are like, oh, it's.
I'm sorry, 2 is the best Undisputed.
When it's Michael Jai White versus Adkins, Boyka's the villain introduced, like that's sick. And it's but then you see there's not much of a budget, and you're like, oh, like The Matrix is better. And you're like, no, this was never meant to hit theaters. This was sold worldwide as like a direct-to-DVD sequel. But once you put that into context, you're like, this is one of the best direct-to-DVD sequels ever made. And when you've watched as many Dolph Lundgren movies as I have, watching this movie is such a breath of fresh air. And like he says, because he can act, and it's funny, and it's zippy. And I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of Dolph Lundgren dreck out there, and he knows it. So when you come across this movie after watching a lot of Dolph Lundgren dreck, you're like, this is a minor miracle. But it's not, though. I mean, so Baxley's dad was the stunt coordinator on this movie. They had $5 to $7 million. They were in Houston. They just had a bunch of stunt people blowing stuff up. They moved really quick, the dialogue was good, so you didn't have to rewrite it on the day. So the dialogue was good, so they didn't have to do rewrites. All the stunt people were really good, so they didn't have to spend like a lot of time reshooting things. Everyone was safe. There weren't too many takes. All that, so I think because everyone was so top notch, they had moments of that lab tech who was weird. I think Betsy got a bigger role because they had more time and she was interesting. And I think once you look at that and then start like putting everything into a stew, like Carl Weathers says, like, we're getting our stew on, baby. I love that. But yeah, it's like a great stew. Like, I think everything combined to make it a very, very fun action film. And I think it unfairly gets lumped in with other movies. But I also think if you look to like the action elite, or if you look at a lot of the action websites, they love Baxley. Like this trilogy of Action Jackson, Stone Cold, and Dark Angel, it's adored. The Amazing Short Round 2.0, like he commented, he's like, I love all three of his movies. Like Baxley's 3 films are incredible. So like, I think action fans know his movies and love them, and that's good. And the guy still had this guy went on to direct a lot of the Stephen King TV adaptations, like Storm of the Century and Rose Red.
Oh yeah, the miniseries.
Yeah, so he went on to be Stephen King's TV guy. But it's just, it makes me happy that at least action fans know these are good movies. And at least people who know the context of these love them. Like Exploding Helicopter, like he loves all these movies. That great podcast. He just writes reviews about movies featuring exploding helicopters. So it's movies that feature exploding helicopters. But I love this movie. And I don't know, Megan and I talk about it all the time. It's just really funny. Like, go get your space gun. We're going to go get that guy. Like, I come in peace. Yeah, well, you go in pieces, asshole. Like, remember when that scene when they're fighting in the room and Ben goes like, oh, you two got a healthy relationship? Like, it's just, it pops and it zips and it almost feels like an Ally McBeal or something like that, but not as Ally McBeal yet. But no, I guess I like it because, and you're right. You watch The Last Boy Scout or those movies and they're just drenched in like sadness and grit and grime. This is a very happy action film and it's cheeky and it's funny and it just works. Yeah. That was a long talk, but I love this movie and I don't care, John.
I'm inclined to agree on all accounts.
And listen, it's kind of tough because it's not the deepest movie ever made, but there's just something to be said. Like, I watched Alligator recently and Robert Forster is incredible in that. He's hilarious. He was his hair was thinning at the time. So in the movie, they made jokes about it because he didn't want people to be like, wait, why's your hair thinning? Like, it's hilarious, that movie. And it's
right while he's with this cute girl.
Yeah. And she's great in it too. And I just love like Piranha 3D. And, I went and watched Piranha 3D and I was like, what is this going to be? It's a total smut factory movie, but it revels in its.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what though? You know how much nudity is in that movie? How much gore? And across the board, it has good critic reviews. It has good IMDb scores. It has good Letterboxd scores. Like, it's a movie that features an almost what's the word? It features an absurd amount of nudity, but everyone's like, yeah, but it's good and it's cheeky and it knows that it like delights in being over the top and it's so turned to 11 that people get it and they don't look at it just being like a gratuitous film. They're like, no, this is a fun movie. It's like just debauchery. And Crawl too. Crawl, the studio didn't even want to screen that movie for critics. It had no critic screenings because they were worried about it not doing well. And then the critics went and watched it and it had an 85% the opening weekend. And it's huge. Like, it's really good on IMDb and it's hilarious. I mean, the movie ends with like, see you later, alligator. And like, it's about a UF swimmer battling gators. Like, it's hilarious. And so I love it when I go into a movie. I'm like, oh, they didn't have critic screenings for this because, oh, maybe it's bad. And then you watch it. And I try not to let my expectations run things for me, but I do love when movies catch me off guard and they just make me happy and they just zip and they're fun and they work. When I thought it might be another bad Dolph Lundgren movie, it turned out to be a really fun action sci-fi film. So we watch so many movies, John, that, I really do like temper my expectations, but when a movie can really just put a smile on my face and just be like a very good movie about piranhas eating spring breakers, I love it. And that's one of these movies. So the four I just talked about, I would put those in like my Letterboxd top 4 of just like, these movies made me really happy. And the new Universal Soldier Regeneration or like Day of Reckoning. I was like, oh, because Universal Soldier 2 sucked. The Canadian Universal Soldier movies weren't great. Those are really good. So it's just, there's something about being caught off guard by the quality of a movie that is very satisfying for me as a moviegoer. And it's kind of why I love movies, because you occasionally get a Dark Angel, you get a Alligator, you get a Piranha 3D.
An unlawful entry.
Pacific Heights, where, you're like, man, this Keaton's evil in this thing. But I don't know. I remember watching Piranha 3D. I didn't expect much of it. I was like, I don't even know what's going on here. It just was like another gimmick movie. But then I just laughed. I was like, this is crazy. This movie is nuts. And even Paul Scheer's like, this will never be covered on How Did This Get Made because it's good. Because it's like an actual good movie. So I guess movies like that are always really memorable to me and hold a special place in my heart, because you go watch a new art house film and I adore it, but you don't really get caught off guard by it. So I love when a movie can really catch me off guard.
Mm-hmm.
And this one did that. Okay.
In so many ways.
All right, John, before we get out of here, let's, I know you got to get you out of here, but let's do a 1990 action movie draft.
Oh, I hate you.
So movies released in 1990. 1990 movies. So movies released in the year.
Doing my obligatory 1990 action movies Googling.
I'll let you have first pick.
Boy, we got some. Oh, I thought that was 91. Okay, well, I'm taking Predator 2.
Great pick.
Oh my gosh, I already overlooked something. I hope now you're going to take it. You're going to take it right now.
All right, so you got Predator 2.
You're going to take it right now.
I don't think I am. I think I'm going to take, okay, this isn't going to win me anything, but I'm going to take I Come in Peace.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, exactly. But like normally we don't do the one we're talking about, but I adore this movie so much, I'm going to take it.
All right. I'm going Total Recall then.
Oh gosh. Oh man, I'm done. I'll take Die Hard 2. I love Predator 2.
Okay, I feel like I'm seeing something that's incorrect because on this list I'm seeing Hard to Kill and Marked for Death. Did they both come out in 1990?
Well, I'm definitely seeing Hard to Kill.
Hard to Kill is the better movie. I'm taking Hard to Kill. Steven Seagal. One of the very few movies I think he's good in.
Hard to Kill? Oh, is that the one where he escapes the hospital on a gurney and he uses it like a canoe?
Yeah. So he's in a coma for a long time and then Kelly LeBrock is
falls
on
in love with him
when he comes out of it. Yeah.
While he's in a coma, a woman falls in love with him.
For years. And he had no muscle atrophy. He recovered. He recovered, by the way, even though his body didn't work. He did some like smoking acupuncture and he was fine.
Yeah, he punched a thing for a little bit, and he became better. All right, so what's your next film?
Okay, all right. So I have Total Recall, Predator 2, Hard to Kill. I'm going with.
It's a good year.
Bird on a Wire. I need some Mel Gibson.
Ooh, Bird on a Wire. I like that. All right, Bird on a Wire. This will be a fun poll. Okay, so I need to go big here.
Not Dick Tracy.
Wait, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Is that an action film?
Yeah.
Or is that a stretch?
I thought that was 89, but okay, yeah.
So right on my American films of 1990. Let me look. Is it the second one? Let me see. Tales from the Dark Side. Here we go. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, 1990. Okay. I'm going to take that. Because, that one's great. More adult than people remember.
All right, so I'm on my last pick.
Yeah.
I'm a little conflicted here, but 48 Hours doesn't really do it for me. I don't even know why they list The Hunt for Red October. That is not an action movie. That is a thriller.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be counted. That's not a choice. If that was a choice in this draft, I'd take it, but it's not. I'm taking Lionheart.
Oh.
I want Lionheart.
Oh, well, are you going to go fight somebody in a pool now?
No, because I want real action movies.
Oh, okay.
That's just it. Hunt for Red October is not an action movie. Google has failed me on that.
Hey, Pacific Heights came out in 90. I don't want Mark for Death because doesn't Keith David get killed in that? And you just don't kill Keith David. Cool. Okay, so I have one left. I'm working through here. I wanted to get Hard Boiled or The Killer, but those.
I liked Mark for Death. I just think that Hard to Kill is the best film of the three, if one of them was to be called a film.
Oh, Darkman, I don't know if that's an action. Tremors is more of like a creature feature. Let's see. 48 Hours. Firebirds? Oh, I can't pick that.
48 Hours. Yeah, they list Kindergarten Cop. Again, I'm saying that's not an action movie. It's not. There's some face punches, but that doesn't make it an action movie.
Wait, so it's saying here that Hard...
Oh, dude, Death Warrant was in 1990. I'm just saying.
I'm going to look something up here real quick, John. Hard Boiled. They're saying it's 92, but some people are saying it's 1990. I thought it was 1990. So
I think that's the confusion of the U.S. release versus the actual film release.
Okay, so I won't pick that one. Because, I love... this is best of the 90s. Never mind.
I like sticking to actual film release.
Best action movies of 1990 list. There it goes. All right, so I got Die Hard 2, Total Recall. Yeah, Hunt for...
You know what I don't remember? This Clint Eastwood Shane movie, The Rookie. I don't even remember that. I know I've seen it. I can't remember anything about it, though.
I like Tremors.
That was 1990.
Tremors and Darkman. Those are good. Rocky 5. I picked Blind Fury, so I'm really happy with that.
Revenge, Kevin Costner.
I haven't seen that. You know what? Okay. I'll take Nikita.
La Femme Nikita?
Yeah. I'll take Nikita.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Because, I'm going to take Nikita. Because that's really influential.
That's a legit good choice.
Even though the first time I watched it, I watched the Bridget Fonda one first.
I just want to let you know, in case you want to back out and take this instead, Blood Fist Part 2 did come out in 1990.
Oh, yep. No, I'm joking. So
Blood Fist Part 2. And there's also a movie called White Fury.
White Fury?
Which actually, when I click it reveals it's a 1989 movie. So there goes maybe the Google credibility.
So listen to this, John. Predator 2, Total Recall, Hard to Kill, Bird on a Wire, Lionheart.
That's a winning list right there.
And then I have I Come in Peace, Die Hard 2, Blind Fury, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and La Femme Nikita.
See, that yours is more diversified.
Yeah, but you got Total Recall.
But again, yours is more diversified, though. What I did was I aimed for having like what can I think right now in the Dakota, the four presidents.
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. I chose the Mount Rushmore of action stars of the time period. Whereas you chose more like the Mount Rushmore of subgenres of 1990.
I took the B squad. Well, no, I had Bruce Willis. I have Rutger Hauer and Dolph Lundgren. Kind of the B squad, but really interesting actors.
Good list there. I think it's just going to depend. When people like more punches to the face in a gritty movie, or if they want like diverse maximum fun, I think that's what's going to decide who they vote for.
But either way, we won because we talked about Dark Angel.
We won.
Oh man. Hey John,
the white boys didn't win.
No, they didn't. They got killed. Hey, where can people find you, man?
You type John's Horror Corner, you're going to find me on most social media, at least the ones that are for people who aren't super young. And because I'm not TikToking or talking, ticking or clocking or whatever that is. And I've got a little tab in movies, films, and flicks. There's a tab where you can click for podcast. You can click about. You can click John's Horror Corner. I happen to be right there. And there's also a tab for crazy data posts as well.
Dude, John, we're doing well, MFF. Like you and I are, we've had quite a resurgence here on the site. Like we've always grown, but numbers have been really good for us lately. Because I think we've been writing more reviews, but
it's the best it's been in and for 5 years I've been keeping data, and it's never been this good by any litmus. By any number of days with over, say, 500 or 700 or 900 or 1,500 views, or even just 5-day run with the most number of views. All these things are blowing away all of our old records. And I think I was keeping records at one point even back in like the mid-2010s. I'm pretty sure it wasn't nearly this good.
Yeah, and it's relaxed now, and we're just cruising. I love it.
For some reason, I don't know if it's search engine optimization or people just realizing over time what's actually good, you know?
Hey, we're getting better too. 15, 14 years will do that to people, right?
Dude, it's been a long time.
And then also, John, so I look forward to our Punisher series. And then we also are going to
I'm in. Okay, so we're going to do the Punisher series. Yeah, that's going to happen.
That's going to happen. And then what we can do is we can if you want to work our way through the Punisher films, and then we have a Kurt Russell movie, we're going to do Elvis, right? Is that Elvis we're going to tackle?
Elvis is our next Kurt Russell.
So Elvis is our next Kurt Russell, and then the Punisher is our next Dolph. So that works perfectly in our series. This is great. I love this episode.
You know, and by the way, we've been putting off Deadstream for a long time.
Oh yeah. Should we just knock out Deadstream? So here's what we can do.
We should get it.
We'll knock out Deadstream, and we'll start our Dolph series at 301. And then just
like legit though, someone's listening who loved the movie Dashcam, and they heard us like 50 episodes ago say, "Oh, we're going to do Deadstream." It might have been 100 episodes ago at this point. They're like, "Oh, they never did Deadstream," and we probably mentioned it again like 50 episodes ago. Like, I thought they were going to do Deadstream.
We're on it. Hey, we still have Infested in the queue.
Oh my gosh, yes, Infested.
Yeah, so we got some good stuff in the queue here. But yeah, so we'll do Deadstream, and then we'll probably be able to fit in a Punisher, and then we'll have Elvis, Punisher, and then another Punisher. And I own all those, and I'm very excited.
That'll be a fun round, those Punishers.
All right, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for John Levengood, and for Mel Gibson looking like a sugar glider.
Feathered testosterone.
Flying through the air. This is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.